Hello, partners! Welcome to one more live da semana. Today we have a special guest here. Hi, Ruben.
Hello, how are you, everyone? How are you, Soli, and How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I am happy because today we are launching a very special thing I created that is a present for you who wants to learn English and wants to have a listening de milhões. This expression, Ruben, de milhões, it's being very used here in Brazil these days. It's kind of a trend, to express that something is very valuable. So we say de milhões. Listening de milhões, it's a very valuable listening skill, very well developed listening skill. Do you get it?
I got it. Here in Greece, we have also many words and describe other situations.
Yes, nice. Well, if you don't know us yet, nice to meet you. Welcome. Follow the channel. I'll let Ruben introduce himself a little bit. Ruben, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, of course. For those who don't know me, my name is Ruben. I am not from Brazil, not from America. I am far away to the other side of Atlantic. I am from Greece. I am web development and also computer engineering, and we were friends with Truly since 2014. And I know that it's not about my I am friend, but I know that Truly is an amazing person, an amazing teacher, which has many talents and knows what method is. I mean that with the new ideas, with the new methods, teachers really can teach exactly what you want. So everything you are interested in, you will find it in Teachers Rally.
Oh, so nice of you. Thank you for your words, Ruben. Well, and since there are still people who don't know me as well, I am Sueli, the teacher of this channel. I also have a web page on Instagram if you wanna know what I have been doing for these last years. It's all there. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I am also a teacher. I teach English for Brazilians, and I also teach Portuguese for foreigners. So the list of all the services I offer are here on the description. You can take a look later and see what you need and then make contact with me. Okay? Nice. Well, for now, let's come back to the topic here today because we are launching this Guia Completo Listening de Milhões, but this comes from another thing we have been doing for the last 2 years. Because last year we launched our podcast, Everything You're Interested In. We had season 1 all here on YouTube. And then this year we launched season 2. There is just one episode left to be launched, and it's going to be available for you to listen on Spotify on October 1st. Okay, the link is also going to be available here on the description. But now, for you who don't know yet, don't have an idea about what we're talking about, if you don't know our podcast now, we're going to present it. We're gonna travel through these 2 seasons and share it with you. Are you ready, Ruben?
Yes, I am absolutely ready.
Nice. Let's start with season 2. Okay. Season 2, we was on video. It was not just only audio, it was on video, and it's all here on YouTube on my channel. Again, if you don't follow the channel yet, search for Teacher Sueli Araújo and you will find this channel with my little photo. And then there is the playlist with the 10 episodes for first season, plus the launching of second season. Now, Ruben, first episode, we were there, 2 little niños, niños español now, Spanish, 2 little niños, dos bebés, starting this project, which is which we love so much, right? And then we used the first episode to introduce ourselves, tell people what we were doing. What are the memories you have from this day, this first episode?
First of all, I have magical, wonderful experience with everything you're interested in, because everything you are interested in is a podcast. Podcast means that 2 or more people can talk, chat, discuss, comment out about anything. And that idea of this podcast made of passion, made of love for me and teacher Swelly. We were, as I said before, we were friends for many years, and we need to practice our English, and that's the result of the practice. The practice was everything you are interested in. We were working, it was sometimes we were hard to find something information, but that's the reason that everything you are interested in is everything you're interested in is made for you. And I love the season 1 and also the season 2. And about the first episode, you want to comment out, right, Charlie?
Um, let me see. What I remember from this first episode. I remember I was very nervous. I remember we had to record again and again because we were nervous, because we were unexperienced. But I also remember I have lots of fun, not only for this first episode, but for the whole season 1. It was just great.
Exactly, it was amazing. It was something that we were beginners.
Yes. Then we had episode 2. We were talking about sunken ships around the world. I remember you suggested this topic, right, Ruben? And it was nice because I learned some things I didn't know about ships and cruises, and also about a specific move everyone knows, but that not everyone knows exactly what it is about, and Ruben tells us here in this episode. What are your memories, Ruben, about this episode?
I would like to comment out before answer is that recently in Greek television there was a documentary about sinking ships, and it's something amazing for me because I have an obsession, and I was trying to learn English. One reason was to learn English. It was to find out information about how the Titanic sank and everything about Titanic. And that topic is the top one for me.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you guys my top 1 later. I like this one, but I have my favorite. I'll let you know in a while. So if you're watching our video here and you have any opinions, let us know. Don't keep it to yourself. Comment here what you're thinking about this video and about our podcast. We will be delighted to read all your comments. Right, Ruben?
Exactly.
Well, okay, so then we have the third episode. Topic, generation gap. This was also, for me, this was also an interesting topic to talk about, because I remember I already had Clube Parceiro de Conversação going on back then. For you who don't know, Clube Parceiro de Conversação is my conversation group. If you want to be part of that, you can. To participate to the group, it's for free. You only have to pay to participate on the live videos. The link for you to be part of our group is here on the description, also here. So as I was commenting, Ruben, the group already existed, and I remember this was a conversation topic on the group. And it was one of the first, it was one of the first. And I remember my students trying to communicate, and it was so nice, because nowadays the ones who participate in Clube Parceiro de Conversação, they are much more confident, and that's very nice for me to see, to witness the evolution, the improvement they have from that time, from back there to nowadays. And it was very nice. How about you? Do you remember anything special about this episode?
I remember that when we were talking about this generation gap topic, we had many ideas because we had passed the situation about generation gap with our family, with my brother, for example, which is much older than me, my mother, my father, my grandmother, and I remember to your mother, to your father, and etc.
Generation gap is a topic that we can relate, right? Not just you and me, but I mean, everyone can relate to this topic, because any time, at some point in their lives, everybody has been through a situation like that. So that's really interesting and very useful, because that is something you will actually use in your life, and as more personal as the more personal, the better. That's what I think. Okay, so we moved to, episode 4. I remember this episode, and I like this episode, not just because I like the topic. We were talking about compound words on episode 4, and I remember this episode with much love, because we also had a live on Instagram with this topic. Do you remember, Ruben? Compound words.
Yes.
We have the live on Instagram. We recorded an episode of the podcast, and both words on the podcast, I think we learned more, right? It was more, I don't know, we searched and we learned. And when it was time for the live on Instagram, we already knew a lot, and we had so much fun, because we were playing with Brazilian and Greek words, and then trying to find out which compound word that would be in English. That was so very fun. What are your memories about this?
My memories is that, as you said, we had a live talking about words, and it was very fun because we learned many new languages, many new, sorry, words. We learn something that it's about learning English, and it was very, very fun because many words are from the Greek roots and that use it in Brazilian languages and also in English languages, etc.
Yeah, and now you reminded me that you had a great advantage because lots of words come from Greek. The other words, lots of them are in Portuguese, they're very similar to Spanish. And then you were there with lots of advantages, and I was trying to understand Greek and I couldn't. But that was fun.
Exactly, it was very fun.
Well, the next episode was episode 5. Oh, this one was also great. We were talking about our top 5 favorite Pixar movies. And we love animated movies and we love Pixar movies, and we went to a website. The website is on the description of that video, and then we there was a list, like it was 24. There were 24 movies, Pixar movies ranked there, and we had to choose just 5. And it was so difficult, but it was also nice to have the experience to choose our favorite ones, and then we had to tell each other why we were choosing that, and again, an opportunity for us to defend our topic, our point of view, right, Ruben?
Yes, and you remind me that I miss so much to watching not these movies, but generally movies. I miss to
Yeah,
watching movies.
we are so adults now. I miss those times as well when I had time and energy.
Exactly.
So, you're mute. What are your memories about this episode? Do you have any specific memory about the 5th episode when we are talking about Pixar movies?
About Pixar movies is something that I love very much, and I used to watch movies from Pixar, not only from Pixar. I'm not advertising Pixar, but I love talking about Toy Story, right?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly which movies we picked there, but I remember one I chose that was One Word, a movie about two brothers who go on a trip together and learn lots of things. I like this kind of movies. And yeah, of course, we're not advertising Pixar. We like lots of different movies, animated movies and live action movies and normal movies, right?
Mm, Everything you're saying about movies is great.
Well, let's move then to the next episode. It was episode 6, and we talked about mind programming. I remember it was also a suggestion Ruben made. Mind programming, an interesting topic because we talked about games and internet and advertisement and how it's all designed to make us want more and more, right? Do you remember anything special about this episode?
Yes, it's something that, as I said before, it was something that was kind of hard finding information because it's a topic that no one's ever heard. If someone heard is 100%, it's about something special. That's why we had hard to find information, but it's very important and very, very, very great topic to chat about it. It's something that we need to learn about it.
Well, then there was episode 8. Well, Where is episode 7? Oh, episode 7 is here. Then there was episode 7. It was about folklore and mythology. And we made it in 2 parts. Part 1 on episode 7 and part 2 on episode 10, because the first one was about Brazilian folklore, and the second one was about Greek folklore. Both were very special for me because I love folklore. Brazilian folklore, I think we have really interesting stories and creatures and legends, but I also love Greek mythology because I have read a lot about Greek mythology, and it was a special topic for me to talk about, and my favorite. I love all the topics we talked about. This first season is in my heart, but my favorite topic was the folklore, because there is not much content in English about Brazilian folklore, and I think it's important for me to share and to share my culture with the world. And I also think, and I also like talking about Greek mythology because I just love it. How was your experience with those episodes?
Greek mythology is something that need to be discussed. There are a lot of many stories, there are a lot of many legends, just like Hercules, Zeus, Mira, and etc. So you can check it out and you will listen to it. And remember that the story of every character, for example, the most interesting story was of Gaia. Gaia is the god of earth, and it's everything about Greek mythology. It's something that it's something very interesting, very
Yes,
likable,
it
and I
is.
know
It
that you
is.
love very much.
I do.
And I know that we have 2 parts of this episode.
Mm-hmm. Well, so don't miss it, guys. Really, watch those episodes. They are my favorite. Uh, I think even though I love Greek mythology, I think the one about Brazilian mythology was the one. Brazilian mythology, no, Brazilian folklore. We say we have our folklore. About Brazilian folklore was my favorite of all. Uh, so we had episode 7, and we already talked about episode 10. We had episode 8, days of the week. Oh, this one was a very interesting one, because there is a story behind the names of the days of the week. And then when you know the story, it's so much more interesting. The days of the week become so much more interesting, and it's also easier for you to I don't know, to keep the names in mind, because now they make sense. That's the impression I have, and one of the reasons I like this episode. What do you think, Ruben? What is your opinion? How was your experience for that episode?
If someone tell every day we are used to say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but we never search of what is Monday, what's the name come from, what is Tuesday, what is Thursday, and etc. For example, Monday is the day of the moon. Sunday, it's the day of the sun. Thursday, it's the day of the Thor, the god of thunder. Thursday, it's the rule of fire. I don't remember exactly. You
Yeah,
can check
check
it out.
out the episode so you will learn every one of the days of the week and how they were chosen, how they were named. That's very interesting.
Absolutely, very interesting.
Well, then we had episode 9, which is the last we're commenting because we already commented about episode 10. Episode 9 was about books. Oh, this one I also loved very much. Because we were not just talking about books. For example, I love this book here and I want to talk about this. Okay, that's nice. Okay, but we went beyond. We were talking about reading, the pleasure of reading, the benefits of reading, how can you develop that, and also about our favorite books. So that's a very interesting episode and one I like a lot because it's also informative. It's not just whatever thing. There is information, valuable information there. What do you say about this episode, Ruben?
About that episode of books, yes, it's something that we need to know because everyone, not everyone, most of the people like and love and are obsessed with books, but many others are bored, not like books. This episode was one of the favorite of the people because it's about books. Books have the secrets of interesting. I knew that as J.K. Rowling, the writer of the Harry Potter, said that if you don't like a book, if you are bored in a book, that means you don't find the right book.
Yeah, true.
Uh, that's all.
Mm-hmm. This ninth episode was the most watched from first season. The ninth episode was the most watched. I think it has almost 300 views, if I'm not mistaken. I cannot see it here now, but it's almost 300 views. So it was, people really liked this episode. I liked it too, but I know you will like all the episodes. So I really recommend you to watch it. And if you're here with us until now, thank you very much. Leave your like so you don't forget it. And when you leave your like, you tell YouTube you like this content and you help us to bring this content to much more people. Okay. Well, we got to the end of season 1 and the year changed and we started season 2. And we decided to explore other things. We decided to explore, well, I thought I was sharing the screen, but I was not. Spotify. Everybody knows Spotify, right? Of course. Lots of people have accounts on Spotify. If you don't have one already, you can create an account for free. Of course, there is the premium version, but you can have an account for free. And we created the second season all in audio. It's just audio. You're gonna go to Spotify, you're going to search for everything you're interested in, which is our podcast. When you get to here, you click to follow the episode. When you follow the episode, every new episode that is launched is showed to you. Okay, so you receive a notification when a new episode is launched. As we said already, there are 9 episodes here, 10 because this first one was the one I was advertising. I was telling people what our episode would be about. So for the second season, we changed the topic a little bit. The first season was very personal. This second season, we decided to change a little bit and discuss international relevant topics. So it is more adult, but it's still very interesting and relevant because those topics are topics that are necessary for you to know about, for you to discuss about, because they are relevant for, I don't know, world security. So Ruben, those are the reasons I I thought that would be interesting to go through that path. Discuss international relevant topics. What is your opinion? Why did you agree with me? Because I remember I suggested this. So why did you agree with me? Why did you think, okay, that is an interesting thing. Let's go, let's do this.
Well, cyberplastic, right? So it's because most of the people, every people now in the earth, even the most older man or woman in the earth, are using social media, Facebook, and everything else. So it's very important to be careful what we are setting, multimedia, I mean, that we are setting pictures and etc. We have to be careful and we need to be care of our device.
Mhm. Well, so our first episode was about cyber flashing. Cyber flashing was a concept I didn't even know existed before this episode. So as I told you, we learned a lot during the process of creating this episode, these 2 seasons. First season, as it was more personal, we learned stuff, but I think the biggest learning from first season was, I don't know, maybe our English, our ability to communicate in English. I think it was what was the most benefited, right? We benefited a lot from first season in order to develop our English. For second season, we went beyond, as I said, and we learned world's relevant stuff. And this cyber flashing is something that I like to know about, and I also like it to know that I don't want to spoiler you guys. I will just tell you cyber flashing is a very interesting and relevant topic, and you should know about it. You can listen to this episode, you will learn a little bit, and you can even, and I would suggest you to go and search for more information about that for your own benefit, for your own sake. Do that. Ruben, do you have any, what do you remember about this, the recording of this episode? Do you have any special memory? You're mute.
About cyber right? Or
Yes. No, not about cyber flashing, about the episode. What are your memories?
I don't have much memories. I can say that everything we were searching for was fun, interesting, and very good for our skills to practicing our ears, to practicing our eyes, and to learn how to search an information
Oh,
because
yeah.
that's the most important.
That's true. That's true. Because for this second season, sorry, for this second season, we were talking about, we were discussing news. So we could not just take any news and take it as true and start spreading. So we had to search, and Ruben helped me a lot because he did the search, and I just choose among the suggestions he brought. I choose the ones I found more relevant, interesting, and then we recorded those. But this is an important part of it. Well, then we had the next topic was how TikTok is shaking up the news around the world. That's another interesting topic because everyone is on TikTok nowadays, and consuming the content and the news and this is good for one, in one hand, this is a good thing, but in the other, that is something to worry about. And we are discussing this in this episode. Do you have any comments about this episode, Ruben?
Yes, as I said in this episode, I said that TikTok can be very addictive, very, absolutely very addictive. And we have to be aware of it, and we have to use it as the technology. We have to use it in no breaking the limits. And maybe it's the very interesting that the TikTok application also had the ability of creating short videos, but we have to be aware of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, then we had the episode about Otto and Mel. This was another thing I didn't know existed. I didn't know the concept. Of course, I knew this existed because it's part of our daily lives. Yet, the Auto ML is being developed, but there are still things that use this tech that still no already there are already things that use this technology, and it's in our daily lives, but the concept itself is very interesting, and I think it's something good. It's great. And of course, we have to be careful. We have to be responsible, but it's great. So if you like technology, I really recommend this episode. Ruben, do you have any comments about the episode about AutoML?
AutoML is based on AI, artificial intelligence, and this is what we are living and working for every day in our car, in our kitchen, in every almost device in our house. It's based on programming, on kind of AutoML. It's artificial intelligence as God create the humanity creates the robots, creates the, the artificial intelligence.
AutoML it goes beyond, right? Goes beyond the artificial intelligence we have nowadays. But as you said, it's based on that concept, and it's wow, it's mind blowing. I really recommend you to know more about this topic. Our next episode was about um, the revolution of communication. Yeah, we were talking about how internet connection developed through the years. It was also interesting because there were some concepts there I didn't know about, and it was interesting to know about that. But it was, yeah, it was not, there was not so much news as there was on the episode about AutoML, on the episode about cyber flashing, but I still like that episode a lot. And I also learned some things about the the revolution of communication through the years. Do you have comments about this episode, Ruben?
About telecommunication, yes.
I remember you
Um,
liked recording this episode a lot. You were excited.
yes, I'm excited because as I said before in the introduction, I am computer engineering, and one of the lessons was artificial intelligence, telecommunication, and programming. And no, yes, but the three parts of our institute was programming, telecommunication, math, and artificial intelligence. Yes, right. So that's the most important topics about our podcast. It's about AutoML and everything that is about of technology. So about 5G, I was very excited because recently I learned that the differences between 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, and 5G. Telecommunication is very important for us because we always, every day, every moment, every second, we chatting and talk to our phone.
Yes, you see, Ruben is a technology guy. So the next episode was we now are we really living shorter days? Oh, this one I liked. This one I liked a lot because it's something interesting. We all have the sensation that we are living shorter days. You know, this week I posted on Instagram. It was yesterday I posted. It was already Wednesday. Today is Thursday. And I was like, come on, the week just started. How comes it's already Wednesday? It's going too fast. And I have the sensation, including my cell phone is almost discharged here, but if I open my Instagram now and I go to the pool I posted, most of people said they have the same impression. It's not here anymore because it's been more than 24 hours, but most people who voted, I think 73% said they have the impression that the week was going too fast. And then in this episode we learned that scientifically there is a theory that says that the days are shorter. So I thought, okay, it's not just me thinking this, that there is a theory. There is something that support my idea. So I like this episode. Do you have comments about this episode, Ruben?
As you understand, I'm talking about the audience. We were trying to figure out about many topics which is very interesting. So everything we are interested in is in that episode, and we were working hard for it, and it was also very fun and was help us a lot. Not only speaking English, but everything. It helped us a lot.
Yeah, that's interesting that you mentioned that, Ruben, because you see, when we created the podcast, we wanted to contribute with you with your learning process. And learning English is not only about learning rules and structures and formal grammar. It's about being able to communicate. And when you communicate, you need to know at least a little bit of different topics. You know, you don't need to be a specialist in everything, but it's nice, it's good, it's benefit from you to know, to be able to talk about different topics. And these episodes are rich because you are practicing your listening skills and you're learning about interesting things. That's why the name is everything you're interested in, because they are topic people are interested about. Get it? Well, so the next episode was, this one is the one that is going to be launched in October 1st. Metaverse and virtual reality is the last episode of our podcast. And as you see, metaverse, virtual reality, I will not talk much about that. I will let you to listen the episode on October 1st. Okay. Let me see. these episodes are not in order here. It's weird. Anyways, we had the episode about, can the world really run on 100% renewable energy? This episode about renewable energy was also interesting for me because this is a topic I like to talk about. It's near to my daily life because I have a student who has created a company for producing renewable energy, and it's it makes more sense for me. Also, while work, studying, searching, reading before recording this podcast, I learned important information about the reasons why people don't give it the amount of importance it should have. Because we are in 2022, we for years we know that the way we live, we produce energy nowadays is not sustainable, and we keep doing that. Why? What's going on there? We discussed this during this episode, and it's a very interesting discussion. Different points of view. Why should we change all the process for renewable energy, and why it's not happening in the pace it should be? That's very interesting. Ruben, do you have comments about this episode?
Yes. So what if we lose, if we are afraid of our electricity in university? Nowadays, we're worried about how to pay the electricity, right? There is a solution. Renewable energy, the power of the sun. We don't harm the environment. We don't harm the earth, and it's something very important that can gain money from it. I was a worker for one day, and I watched every step of making panel of making solar panels, and that was very interesting. Also, the topic is one of the top interesting topics because nowadays we were talking in global about the issue of electricity.
Yeah, this is a very special topic. So then we recorded an episode for Queen Elizabeth. I mean, the world lost Queen Elizabeth last week, and we recorded an episode talking about her, how important she was for not just for England but for the world. And it was also nice because Ruben has been to London 2 times, right, Ruben?
Because I have been in the United Kingdom twice.
Twice, and then I asked him how was his experience there, how was the feeling of the Queen's presence around, and he shared his experience. So this is a very nice episode that I also recommend you to listen. Comments about this episode, Ruben?
Not only this episode, but all the episodes are, I think, they were, how to say, it were awarded for the job that we did. And about that episode, it was something that because I don't know how to say it. I don't have any comments about, but it was very interesting topic.
Yeah, it was nice to talk about that. You know, I think when I die, I want to be remembered the way we were remembering her in that episode, because we were feeling, of course, her death, but we were not sad. It was a happy episode. We were happy talking about her importance, talking about her life, talking about her things. So I think when I die, I want people to remember me with happiness, remember me. Do you know what I mean?
Remember always and forever.
Yeah.
I know. I got you.
Yeah. Well, then let me see which one was the next episode. Hackers are a threat like they have never been before. This one, this one was the one I recorded by myself. I know the one I recorded by myself was this one. Yeah, hackers, Ruben were there with me. Hackers are a threat like they have never been before. For this episode, we were commenting about how well prepared hackers are nowadays and how they are using this ability to bad things, unhappiness, and unhappiness. Unfortunately, I meant unfortunately. And yeah, that's sad because they could use that ability for good things, but they are using for, I don't know, stealing from hospitals. That's something that I really can't stand. Anyways, but Ruben liked talking about the topic. What's your opinion, Ruben, about that episode? They were stealing medicines, right? I don't like those guys. Don't be a hacker.
Don't be a hacker. So recently, I heard, but I don't remember exactly, that someone, a hacker, stole information from Google. Google have unlimited secureness. Secureness, right? It was a word. Imagine how hackers can be a wizard. For me, hacker is a wizard nowadays. Can steal information not only from a bank, but in government, from NASA, from everywhere. Hackers can be dangerous, absolutely dangerous, as they are prepared. So we need to be prepared for. We don't have to use application of Apple, and we don't have to use mobile bank application. We don't have to use smartphones because television and smartphones and everything else is much valuable for hackers attack.
Yes. One thing I like about this episode is that we're not just commenting about hackers and how bad they are. We bring information. So we share with you some important concepts, some kinds of hack attacks that exist. And we also share some information on how you can try and avoid to be hacked, some attitudes to take in order to not be an easy target. Okay, so I recommend this topic even though I don't like hackers. Well, and the last episode that is already available for you to listen to is the one that was launched last weekend. Climate change could cost the global economy 23 trillion by 2025. Guys, 2025 is tomorrow. I mean, it's around the corner. The way days are going, tomorrow it's 2025. So careful. And then in this is an interesting episode. We well, not we, but I am there discussing and commenting the and we go again talking about this renewable energy and sustainability that should be taken more seriously, because for years we know we don't have a sustainable economy, that we need to change it. For years we know that there is the climate changing. It is happening for years, and there is always more and more natural disasters, and I say natural disasters between quotes, because they happen because of our attitudes, I mean human attitudes towards the natural environment. And still we keep doing those things. The climate change go more and more and now I forgot the word, more and more dangerously. It grows year after year, and it keeps happening. I don't understand. I really don't understand. That is something everybody should discuss, but not just discuss with their mouths. Just say words that are beautiful. Oh, I care about the sustainability. No, don't discuss sustainability just to say you discuss it. Discuss with your heart, with your minds. Really try to make the difference. That's a topic you like, right? We've been talking about the natural environment and how to keep it safe. It was a pity you could not be there. But anyways, you have now the chance to add your thoughts if you want to.
As I said to you before, behind the scenes, I said to create videos and talking and warning people about climate change. We need to change because we are going to die, not only us, not only humanity, but the earth. We need to change so we don't get destroyed. I said to you, and we have been created many videos made from love, for love, of course, about talking how to protect environment. And I remember it was an episode of season one or not, I don't remember, that always said that plastics can be saved in sea for many years. So how much sea creatures dying every day, every moment. And that's very bad for our earth, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we recorded that video, but we didn't get to post it. I think we recorded, but we didn't post it. But that's something we really need to be aware of, to be worried about, to discuss and make our parts. We can all separate our trash. We can all use less plastic. We can all spend less time in the bathroom with the shower on. We all can do our part. So be one that do your part. Uh, yes. So that's it, Ruben. We went through these 2 seasons of our podcast. I have to say I'm so happy about it. You know, I think it's valuable, and as I said, not just only for practicing English, but for getting information, for getting to know about things you may not know about, and that are interesting things, that are important things. Um, we created this. We want you to use it because, as I say, it's no use if we create content, if we bring material, if we offer you tools and you don't use it. Because if you don't use it, if you don't use them, it's not going to change anything for your English. You have to use them. And to to incentivize you to listen to our podcast, we created, we had this idea together of having an ebook, and then I wrote the ebook, and it's this one here, Guia Completo Listening de Milhões. I will share my screen now and show you the one thing we are asking you for this ebook, okay? So the ebook is for free. You don't have to pay for the ebook, but we are coming with the third episode of the third season of our podcast. And we need to be relevant. We need to create a content that you will like to listen to and that is going to help you. So we created this Google form here where we ask you some information. It's a review about the episodes of the podcast that already exists. And also, we are asking you to tell us what topics do you like to hear about so we can create the new season more relevant for you, okay? And then after you answer all the questions, there is here the link for you to download the ebook for free. It's not because I made it, but it's nice. I sent the ebook for some friends. I asked them, take a look, see if you think it's going to help them. And they said, yes, that's awesome. I would pay for it. Okay, so people would pay for this ebook, but I'm giving it to you for free. And the only thing I'm asking is for you to answer this Google form. I will leave the Google form here on the description of this video, and I hope you click to it, you answer all the questions that are there, and then you can download the ebook and get to a listening to millions. Okay, the content on the ebook, in the ebook, is valuable, and I'm telling you guys, it's going to be, I don't even have words. It's in Portuguese, okay? I wrote the book in Portuguese because even if you are just starting studying English, you can benefit from it. So I did not write it only in English, because if I have done that, only people with intermediate and advanced English would benefit from the ebook, and everybody can. So answer the review for us and get your ebook for free. Ruben, we are about to finish our live. Thank you very much for being with me in this project. What are your words before we finish?
I would like to say that in the last two episodes, I didn't have too much time to making the episode, but we did it. So sorry for the time that I do. Also, if you don't waste time to check it out, everything that's really said, because you are going to learn, because it's very valuable. And I remember the first season and the second season and everything about this project that was very something like I have butterflies in our stomach, feeling happy, feeling good. I'm workaholic and I loved the work that we done with Sueli, and I love every project that we made and making. We learn many things, and if you want, you can check it out. The first and the second episode. And you can click, like, comment out, and etc. Because based of this ebook, you will learn everything, and we know what you want to listen.
Well, so thank you for watching. Again, all the links are available here in the description. All the links I mentioned are available here on the description. If you don't follow the channel yet, please do follow the channel, activate the notifications so you will receive all the content we post here. We will see next week for Live da Semana and on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me there at teachersueli.araújo because I'm there daily on stories. Okay? Bye. Bye, Ruben.
Bye bye. Bye bye.